Here we are. So the continuous action of the league continues. We've got more 3v3. And we've got Nocturna against Tag. Now, right now, the standings, both these teams are tied with each other on 10 points. And I believe that's after 3 rounds. Could be after 2, to be honest. I think they've done so well. It should be after 2. Just doing the math there. Maybe it was after 3, the more that I think about it. Either way, they're tied. Team who wins this series, if there's a team who wins this series, because it's a playoff 4, will be in the top 4, and the other team might be just out of it. For Tag, we've got Mihai on the flank playing as the Bohemians. And the pocket down here in the south, we've got Sato playing as the Spanish. And in the blue, then, we've got MBL playing as the Chinese. And you'll see the players using their scouts to bring in their boars. That's the Regicide trick because you can put your scouts into the castle to heal it up. Nice little efficiency trick. For Nocturna, and they're really known for being strong on these closed maps, we've got Target playing as the Bengalis. In the yellow, we've got Anatov playing as the Jurchens. And then in the purple or magenta, we have Running playing as the Turks. So left side is more of the gunpowder side, right? Bohemians are known for that. Turks are known for that. You might need to be a little careful here if you're Mihai with your king. The right side, not so much. Right side, more about the eco bonuses. Chinese get the additional vills at the start. So, like, they always have that consistent 3 vill advantage. But then, for the Bengalis, every time you make it to the next stage, you get additional 2 vills. And then the pockets are interesting because, like, Jurchens, I think this unit is kind of slept on, the Iron Pagoda. I'm going to assume he's going for the Iron Pagoda because typically you have cav spam from the pocket. Reminder, if you lose your king, you're dead. Both Mihai and MBL have history of losing their king, I think, in tournament games. So they need to keep their king safe. And part of the strat there is actually put a king into an ally's tower. Looks like Target is trying to do that, but he can't make it through. King's going to have to waddle around this way, and they're going to maybe being told, go to my other tower. That tower is too cramped on the edge of the wall there. I think we'll see the same from MBL. You know what I wasn't expecting, though, guys? Like, Spanish, typically, you don't see play pocket because you want to see the conquistadors out from the flank. But here's the thing. I don't want to give all my secrets here, all right? But I don't really think that making unique units is that strong on this map now. It's just not as good as economy. So I think Spanish, conks can be for later on, or you can go Paladin. You also have the trade bonus for the team, so if it goes late, and it often can, you're getting a lot of extra gold. So we could maybe even just see this as a Paladin player for Sato. MBL's king was in this tower, got antsy, and is going to go back. I think he just thought about this, and he was just thinking, like, okay, I should probably go to Sato's base. But then he saw Feudal Age, and he's like, no, don't be an idiot. Let's not get our king stuck, like, caught in the middle by scouts, right? That was kind of a funny realization there from MBL. But yeah, I think it could go 3-1 either way. I think the teams are pretty close. If I were to pick a 3-1 here, I might say a 3-1 for Tag. I just think they have a little bit more overall quality. Like, on the right side, I'm really interested. MBL versus Target. Like, MBL's going to look at Target. Target's a solid player, but MBL's going to have a lot of confidence there. And if the Bengalis get to Elephant Archers, you can't do anything. But it takes a lot of eco to get there. So I think MBL is going to have to kill quickly on this side. And I believe in MBL to be able to get the job done there. Bro, how is your wedding? Question mark. My wedding's not for... My wedding's in almost 2 months. It's in like 61 days, if I'm doing the math correctly. Don't worry, I have the date memorized. I just can't count. So yeah, wedding hasn't happened yet. Thanks for asking, though. The scouts engaging in the middle. MBL is going to get found. And yeah, they're on top of this. Well played from Anatov there at Target. And nice blocking there from Anatov, too, so MBL couldn't get back. I assume this scout is just going to die. And it does. Not the biggest deal, but... it's something. And MBL, you start with the barracks, so he adds the spearman now. And I think that is mainly out of frustration. He's hoping that he can get a free snipe. Not the biggest deal. You're Chinese. You have good economy. There's a signal from Target. Target points out, like, hey, there's a flag on that tower there. So he's like, his king's on the front. Normally, you want to put your king in, like, the back tower. So if you get attacked on the front. But Zato is safe. He's in the pocket position. I doubt that's going to be of much concern here. Are you playing the Age of Empires anthem when you... what, during the wedding? Like, the wedding starts? Like, when she walks down the aisle, it's like... Burr, 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 burr. Actually, that sounds kind of dope. I'll think about it. I'll see if she's down. I think we're not going to do that, but... I didn't really have that idea before. So, MBO going a little bit against what I said, right? And going a bit more map control focused. Queuing up a lot of Chukunu. I don't... think that is a great use of your resources. I guess obviously he wants the numbers. He does drop the second TC right away. It's a good TC in the back. Can he actually accomplish anything with the military is the question. There's towers, there's walls. The target's placing a town center, which might look a little bit awkward here. But at the end of the day, that's mainly protected by the tower. Or largely protected by the tower. Kind of feels like MBL is going to go siege push or something. I don't know. They're signaling there from Sato. They're talking about TC positions. I think if MBL spots a TC, he's going to want to siege push it. There's actually no tower here. That's great scouting from them. Yeah, I think MBL will bring a villager this way. And yeah, there she goes. No loom, but we'll be protected by the Chukunu here. So big aggression from MBL. Anatov watching this too. Anatov also just managing the eco, sees the Chukunu. They will know that this is not really that common, and that's a dead vill. That's a dead vill. I'm sorry, but you just can't do this. Like, it's amazing play from Anatov, but from MBL, like, it's just got to be better than that, in my opinion. He also loses the Chukunu to the tower. I'm just seeing a little bit of shakiness here from MBL. Like, he's trying to do way too much. Like, he's... as I explain it, because, you know, I play tournaments as well. I'm not quite MBL's level, but just, like, a little scatterbrained. Like, a little nervous. Maybe that's what it is. The thing about this Nocturna team is they just play really cool, calm, and collected. They're very relaxed. And when you have good economic civs like that, that's going to benefit you. MBL still could get the Siege Workshop up. Feels like the Ratha are going to come out now just to patrol around the middle. I think Target would not be expecting MBL to be here so fast after hearing that Villager's lost. MBL is going to lose another Vill unless he gets the quick wall. He does have Bod Canero. And the Ratha don't have any upgrades. Actually, they do have one armor upgrade. But MBO just needs to wall that, in my opinion. It's got a ranged and melee modes. I guess he doesn't really need to wall it. He's getting loom. He will complete the Siege Workshop. So yeah, let's see how Target can defend from this. Target's normally known for being really good in defending in these scenarios, but MBL's known for being good at attacking in these scenarios. MBL's added a Fire Lancer. He's got another Vill here. He's got... It feels like a start of a joke, man. 2 Petards, a Fire Lancer, Chukunu, and a Villager walk into a gate, bar, and... Well, he doesn't know if he can move forward yet. He runs directly into the Ratha. Ratha tanking some shots there, but MBL wants to break through. That's the idea. So, if the Petards hit the wall, we'll say the main goal is right there, which they don't know, but that would be awful for running. Sorry, not for running. I guess it would hurt running's team, but would hurt Target. You know the Siege Workshop's there, so he's going to add his own siege, but what he's expecting is to be able to defend from this position. Now, we're reaching the stage of the game where help can come from the teammates. So we could see Iron Pagoda production from Anatov soon. He's just going for a 4th town center, so apparently not. And also a 5th town center here from Sato, so apparently not. Let's see. Oops, misclicked. I'm trying to use these capture H hotkeys, and I just misclicked. I'm sorry. MBL's in with the Petards. Target's going to see this. Does react right away. Lands the attack round, but the thing about Chukunu is they take down Siege very quickly here. So MBL takes down the Manga now. Oh, this is so good for MBL. 2 villagers from Target were trapped into the mining camp. He never expected this to be a problem here. And as I try and get to live time again with no lag or anything like that, yeah, now no gold for target. And if you didn't think about it, which you might not, like you're not realizing until this very moment, you have to go here for gold. So what might actually happen is he runs all the way over here to take his allies. But MBL 10 villagers behind, but he's forcing a lot of idle time, and this is what I was talking about. It was a little awkward for MBL to maybe get it going, but it was just slightly delayed. And this is what he'll think. Like, target's just not the same level as him in 1v1s. On the left side, like, Running's the player who's much closer to MBL's level. There we see Mihai losing a villager. That will be a big battle soon. Yeah, I like this from MBL. Now, let's see if how these Ratha perform, because the Chukunu were up against Ratha that didn't have the final armor upgrade. Now it changes. There's also a Mangonel here. Target with the nice dodge there, and he clears up the siege, and Target might end up being somewhat okay here. It was still big investment from him. He was pushed off gold. He lost some villagers, but there's a lot of weak Ratha there that he's been able to save. I would say maybe add monks here. I'm a little surprised he hasn't done that, because you can get conversions and also heal up. And oh man! Target, I think the multitasking is just a little too much for him. He's desperately trying to just wall up right now. But he's lost more vills. He lost all of his Ratha there. That was not the patience he needed. He does land a nice attack round. And he does get back on his gold at least. So, I mean, I guess he's accomplished what he wanted in that sense. MBL's on 3 town centers. Now, it gets harder to micro if you're MBL now, because you're adding more farms than you were before. And Target already kind of pre-added those farms in many ways. Still feels like the front of the base is very important here. We got Hussite wagons out from Mihai, and he's already stonewalling the left side. Now, that's an interesting move. You're expecting this game to turn into some trade eventually, but usually the trade doesn't happen until after a lot of fighting. But they're essentially pre-walling this. And there might be a point where Running thinks he can just go to the side and add the markets and might not be able to. MBL is also taking a corner away as well. But again, he's booming now. He's adding farms there. He's adding the lumber camp, deleting a gate, and he loses his rocket card. Yo, what's up, Tom? Thanks for the 31. What's up, King Kang? Thank you again. Oh, no, I was Kanga Banga, I think. King Kang, Kanga Banga. Same difference. Thank you, guys. It's funny, you guys also have subbed for, like, the same amount of months. Ooh, Cav Archer's coming forward from Running. And he does actually deny some of this wall. Now, he doesn't know the full wall is extending this way, but he wants to pressure with the fast Imperial Age. The Hussite wagons really should be here, in my opinion. Mihai was thinking of controlling this hill. He wasn't expecting the pressure from Running on the left side. I think Mihai was definitely expecting this wall to just be completed. This was all protected in his mind. Immediately goes for siege workshops here, Mihai. So his plan will be bombard cannons. The Turks' plan is bombard cannons as well. MBL and Target still having their 1v1. Big walls back from here from Sato as well. And Sato's adding the stable, so he's just going to play Paladin. Already adding trade as well. And MBL is going with villagers to the corners there. So MBL will add the markets. So I think MBL's accomplished enough to be happy here. You've pressured the Bengalis so the Bengalis can't fully boom. So I think that's great. Mihai and Running on the left side. I think I prefer the Bombard Cannon Cav Archer. I just think it's way easier to play than trying to get in towards whatever the plan is for Mihai, which, I mean, the Hussite wagons you can see just don't work very well now. As for Paladin versus Iron Pagoda, I think Iron Pagoda is the better unit there. And Anatov has not had as good a boom, but he's done a better job translating his eco into military. He's going to have 4 castles soon, and he's already got 20 military running forward. Mihai didn't even have chemistry completed when he made it to Imp, so he went for the siege workshops for bombard cannons. Can only start to queue them now, and he's losing his siege workshops. Mihai needs help. Anatov is exploding in population across the map. Absolutely insane how many castles I'm seeing there. And if he comes this way, he'll fully clear MBL. I think that might be the play. But I guess the other part of it is you could just clear Mihai. Like, either way, if target's saying you're fine, you go this way. Let's not forget there's kings out there. You lose your king, you're defeated. King's not actually that far away, and a lot of this seems chaotic for Mihai. He does not have military to stop this right now. In fact, he has basically no military. He's fully relying on Sito. He's panic dropping castles. Again, they have walled, so they're preventing the long-term trade from NOC. But, like, Nocturna might not need the trade if they just kill a player this early on. Cavalier go this way. The Iron Pagoda are there to somewhat defend this, and these Turk Cav Archers are incredibly strong as well. That's a lot of wasted Cavalier from Sito. But probably not seen as a waste because it just gives your team some time. You gotta clear them, though. You have to take the Bombard Cannons to be happy with this. Okay, he gets 3 out of the 4. I think that's reasonable. Oh, man. It's just such an awkward situation for Mihai. I think his Bombard Cannons will get sniped as well. He just doesn't have army. That's the issue. No military. And I just think, like, it's just imp timing from Running is just so good. Like, Running's had such a good game against him here. And now the snowball begins. Like, these siege workshops were dropped at the perfect time. The Cav Archers were out for the map control. And, yeah, say goodbye, castle. It's going to have to be Paladin that saves the day here from Sito. He does have a big economy. But I don't know if Paladin beats Iron Pagoda. Iron Pagoda, they block the first melee attack, so they're great in melee engagements. They would struggle against Bohemian Halb, but that's why you would have the Cav Archers here. Meanwhile, on this side, MBL's behind Invils. He's behind an imp to imp. The Elephant Archers are on the way from target. The only positive I'm seeing right now for Tag is that they are trading from a corner to a corner, and they have walled this corner to prevent the other team from trading. That's the positive. So if they hold, and this game turns into a trade game, then, you know, and we're starting to see the markets now. There's the market. Then maybe they're in a better position, especially because they have Spanish trade, right? Interesting, these Cav Archers actually got walled in here. Not sure exactly how that happened, but that's actually not a bad moment for Mihai. So yeah, let's see. I think Sito is kind of playing Bombard Cannon sniping right now. He just has to snipe the siege so his team can hold. Running tries to get some quick walls. Sito's going to run through. We'll sacrifice an army of Paladins for this, but if he can just replace the Paladins and they could give Mihai some time, maybe it's not a bad play. Running tried to get the quick wall there. He wasn't able to get it, and his Bombard Cannons go down. That's not cheap, guys. That's not cheap at all. Well played from Sito. That's exactly what they needed there. Because this now allows Mihai to get Hufnitsa, to chill with his castles. He's not being pressured. Not to nearly the same level anyways. Still worried about MBL, though. I think Bengali Elite Elephant Archers just completely kill MBL, which means Sito is going to be needed there. And Sito, the thing is, when you add trade this early on the back of a big 140 villager boom, you then start to have population efficiency problems, too. Meaning that, like, you just don't have much military, and that's kind of what's needed right now, right? I think the hope is that if they can get Mihai onto Hufnitsa, he can take down the Bombard Cannons from Running. And the thing is, Running needs to get... Oh, and he got raided big time over here. Wow. The thing is, Running needs to get artillery to be able to compete. But artillery's super expensive, and he's running out of gold, I'm noticing. So he won't have 12 plus 2 range on his Bombard Cannons like you would want with the Turks. It's just the 12. And the Hufnitsa will be at 13 range because they got Siege Engineers. So Mihai could potentially actually hold this. As long as the Halbs stay near the cannons could clear everything else. They're getting desperate. Look, they're running at this because they're realizing, I think, that this game is getting awkward for them. I mean, speaking of running, MBL's king is going to run away. Sito came this way. Look at target, though. Gates galore to protect the Trebs, and MBL loses his castle. Crazy. This is the home map for Nocturna. This is the map that they're best at, most comfortable at. They still can't trade corner to corner. They're trying to break through. They did once. Sito was there with some Paladins. Honestly, feels like they're really lacking the siege here. Like, they're hitting a little bit of a wall. They have the military, but this combination this composition, rather, from Mihai is really tough to run into. The Bohemian Halbs will love any of the fight against the Iron Pagoda. Maybe that's why they're focusing on MBL, and they got to break MBL. Yeah, MBL's dying. MBL's going to get raided. Crazy! MBL's king is out! MBL is going to lose his king. MBL should lose his king. He should be dead. He should be completely dead. He notices! Oh my god, he notices, I assume. Because he garrisoned the king, he didn't garrison the Vills. Okay, he's still alive then. Mihai's starting to push back with his team. Castle's going up for MBL. He was so scared of the bombard cannon. Sorry, not the bombard cannon. The elephant archers. That's why he tried to push, but the push was never enough. He's just going to continue to lose ground over here. We need to see more support from Sato, but Sato's going to be needed over here. Yeah, this is also their trade route, right? Like, this is the area that you need locked down because this is where your trade is right now. The trade is simply going to be broken. And left side, I mean, running doesn't have the siege anymore to push, but left side, they've still forced a lot of damage. I think if MBL loses, if they just lose the trade right now, considering they invested into it, like there's 30 trade cards for Sato, that's just horrible for tag. Well played from Target. I think he did well enough against that pressure earlier. Really well played from running. He did a really good job getting the initial push against Mihai. And then, of course, Anatov has been here to swing to both sides with the Iron Pagodas. And Iron Pagodas are just shredding, actually. Wow. You mixed in some Cav Archers there, and the Halbs just go down so fast. I think MBL's cooked. He won't lose his king. I still don't even know if he knows it's there, because he just sent it out onto the farm like it's a villager. He won't lose his king, but he's completely dead. He's got 65 eco. He's got 2 military. Every form of military he's tried has just died. He tried to switch into heavy Scorpion, which felt like desperation for me. Not sure exactly what else I would really suggest, by the way. Like, Elite Chukunu is usually one of your better units as the Chinese here. King for MBL is in his town center now. I think Sato might have noticed it as he went to defend. I think MBL needed a better imp time. Isn't Onager's the best play here? Well, you don't get Onager. You get heavy rocket cart. And rocket carts, in my opinion, feel worse than Onager, first off. Second, Bengalis. If you don't get siege Onager, the elephants can just shrug off that damage, no problem. Third, Bengalis get good monks, and they can just convert the Onagers. So it really is difficult to manage. I think what they needed is they needed to tow with Paladins on the right side with MBL. But they couldn't do that because running had such a good push on this side that Sato had to be supportive, right? The whole theme for tag has been they just haven't had the military combinations. MBL and Mihai were both later than the other flanks to their army. And then, like, okay, we got some raids here. We actually have treason researched. Sato researches treason to try and find out where the kings are because he got some paladins in. And he was hoping that maybe he could snipe a king. That'd be a way to come back. Pretty epic. And all the kings move. That's amazing. So they hear treason. It's like it's a community game. And they know, all right, well, they're going to know about kings in the tower. They're desperate now. And yeah, if you hear the noise of treason, you got to move your king then. And they moved all the kings to this castle. That's really smart. MBL is at least massing some scorpions here. So we'll see if the scorpions do. I think if you get to like 30 scorpions, it could be okay. Left side, we've got some more map control from running. He's broken through, so their trade could be more efficient soon. Thing is, MBL, he needs siege then to push back these castles. Like, what's going on here? The MBL built like 3 universities this game. Double universities over there. I thought he had another one at home. I guess he's just been desperate. Walls now from running to prevent units from getting into the trade. I like that move. Sato's starting to push back a little bit on the right side with MBL. And on the left side, you have Mihai posing a threat, while the Cav Archers still seem to be such a good option here from running. Maybe Target starts to struggle a little bit now. Remember, he did lose a lot of vills to the raids. So his vill count's not what it used to be. But there is a lot of support coming in from Anatov. Sato sending any extra resources he has to MBL. Yeah, that is a lot of Iron Pagodas. Holy. Now, they're not as tanky as a Paladin, so against Scorpions, they might struggle. And it didn't look like he really had faith in that engagement. So maybe, I mean, score just flipped back. Population was 100 ahead for Nocturna, and now it's even. Maybe some hope here for Tag after all, and they still are working towards this corner to trade. It might actually be a reality again. Some of the trade carts are still actually moving. Looks like they're dying. But Target definitely just like fell off a cliff in terms of his pop here. His trade is also running like through the middle of the map. I think that big raid from Sato and MBL Scorpions made things interesting. MBL running with his king again. MBL, get your king in a castle, bro. A great raid from Anatov. Oh, that's so good. Anatov gets into the trade. He's going to clear up so much trade. Some of these trade carts need to reposition if you're Sato. MBL tries to get a quick wall, but he misses the quick wall. Yikes, that's so annoying. Like, this is the last thing you want to be doing with your army is chase in the trade. And now MBL isn't pushing with support, but he did take down the castle, and he could move after this castle from target. Great game from Anatov. Super underrated player. He doesn't play 1v1s, but anyone I ever talk to about that like teams with Anatov just talks about how great of a player he is. Iron Pagodas are going to win this. And they're going to stay in the trade then. Sato might want to consider a switch to Elite Conquistador, to be honest. What do you guys think about that? It's much harder to populate the sides, I guess. And you're having an issue supporting already, so maybe for that reason it's bad. But I feel like if you had 50 Elite Conks in this game, it could be the game changer. Doesn't really have the gold for it yet. And gold is the concern because their trade got disrupted. Does feel like the game's kind of slowing down a little bit. Anatov tried to patrol in from the hill. He's stacking onto the mill, though. Yeah, so the first attack actually just goes onto the mill, and he loses that fight. So he'll lose those units finally. And MBL's pushed. And what they need to do is regain this area, and they need to wall it up, right? And Mihai has not been broken. Like, Mihai's still... He's now at a stage where Bohemians feel a little bit easier to manage. And we have ourselves a game where both teams are almost at full population. Amazing recovery from MBL. He was at 68 vills. I actually can't believe that he popped up back up to 117 eco as quickly as he did. That's incredible. It also was like, you know, at times has been a little bit disastrous, but it's been the full MBL experience here. The chaos, the good and the bad. Bengalis don't get Bombard Cannon. They do get Onager with Siege Engineers, so Scorpion is about to look a whole lot less effective. And I think MBL is feeling confident with the Scorpions because it's allowed them to push out. Maybe he can go back into Chukunu again. We're seeing a couple raids in the middle. We're seeing a little bit of a pushback here from Mihai. And finally, the artillery tech from running. He needed the gold income, right? Now that he has artillery, though, it becomes a lot more difficult for Mihai to advance forward. Iron Pagodas disappear. Iron Pagodas simply disappear there. Scorpions from MBL still doing a lot. Still queuing up a lot of them here. Onagers could be sniped by Paladins from Sato. And it feels like the timing for Tag is going to be so nice. Look, Onagers are going to eject forward. And Sato's like, oh, I got you, bro. So yeah, Onager would be the counter to the Scorps. But now Onagers get sniped by the Cav. Oh, that's such good timing. It's like they planned it. I don't even think they knew Onager was coming in. MBL's going to add more walls, creep forward, and target continues to have problems. Mihai's got to hold. Mihai has to hold on his own here. Lots of cannons in the mix. Lots of Hussite wagons. Lots of halves. And oh my god! Nocturna's army's disappearing! Oh my goodness. That could be GG. I'm sorry, but they don't have enough trade to build back up bombard cannons and cav archers like that. A lot of the halbs got in close enough to dish out the bonus damage, and the Hussite wagons can maybe do the rest of the damage. That was ridiculous. And over here, it's a complete wipe as well. MBL should have lost his king. He almost lost his king. And luckily he didn't. Because if he wasn't in the game, they would have been completely dead. The king is safe in a tower for now, and they are actually going to turn this around. Again, my thinking with the predictions was maybe just a little bit more overall quality in terms of the individual talent here for Tag. In the middle, MBL raided with halbs. He's just attacking a castle right now. So nothing too major. But he's making progress, and pretty soon Target's going to have only one castle, and his base will be pushed in. And yeah, he needs help from Anatov, and Anatov doesn't have the support because he is also being called to the left all the time. And Sito has 54 trade, and it's Spanish trade, so he's getting way more gold income than Anatov, so I think he's able to support with more paladins, and Anatov is able to produce with the iron pagodas. I think that castle just went down. No, he deleted it. Running knows he needs to push. But the tankiness of the Hussite wagons makes them extremely complicated. It was awkward initially in early imp because you don't have many castles and he was getting pushed. But now that you've got much bigger economies, you can really balance out the numbers. Now, speaking of balancing out the numbers, that is going to be the concern for Target because his Elephant Archer mass... Well, it's not a mass anymore. It's an Elephant Archer group. Not nearly as exciting. Keep in mind the trade's right here. I think they might make a way through this wall, petard through or cannon through and get into the trade. It's not that far away. And look at MBL. MBL's gone for the giant Great Wall over here. He is Chinese. He did actually get the Great Wall tech as well, which is pretty sick. I think you have to push here if you're running. You have to kill Mihai. There's walls from MBL. He's making giant corridors and towers and walls all through the middle. Very awkward, very random, but very MBL and very effective. That's going to be a lot of weird pathing for the reinforcements from Anatov, especially. Castle went down from running, so he wasn't able to keep that up. And the Halb Hussite wagon combination continues to be difficult. And Mihai will take the hill himself with his own castle. Target falling. I think it's over, guys. What I really liked here, guys, and I didn't really touch on it because we're talking about all the dead bodies, right? You know, you need to have good communication, good or bad, with your team on your situation resource-wise. And I think when MBL got destroyed, he immediately communicated to his allies, or his allies, you know, asked him. And he got resources so he could reboom, right? We saw yesterday, like, Team Wonders didn't really do that in similar situations. But yeah, like, MBL fell behind, and then Sito was like, immediately sent him a bunch of res. I think Anatov's going for King Snipes right now. Genuinely. Like, I think Anatov knows that their team is crumbling, and he's going to go snipe a King. If only he knew how close he was to sniping the King earlier. Maybe not, actually. Maybe he's going for the trade. It's kind of funny that MBL's doing all of this walling, and there's just wide open gap in through here. So that will hurt. But running is getting pushed now. And okay, Target is more elephants again, and maybe can hold the line. A big trade raid could turn this around. I don't want to pick on MBL here, but I think, again, just not thinking about the simple option. You got to complete your main wall first before you go for some of these crazy walls. So that's more headaches for Sito as he has to clear up the trade. Damn. I mean, the second the Elephant Archer mass reaches 40, it starts to look insane again, right? But problem was the Scorpions got some good engagements. I also think Target built up a lot of his buildings on the front, so it took some time to get more archer ranges in the back. He's still working on that. But target will hold the line where his original walls were. Maybe can push back those towers. Can running hold the line? Right now, it seems like Mihai's distracted, but Mihai has made it through on the side. Oh, man. Into the trade. Yep. So they had to delete the market so their trade doesn't run into the pressure. A castle from running to just hold some aspect of the corner. I think Anatov will come full send to this side now because he knows how bad this is. And Sito is going full send the other side because Mihai's done all right on his own, and this could lead to more problems for target. Yep. All the yellow units are going to the left, and all the green units are going to the right, and MBL will have support then, and the Scorpions can march in. If he has Trebs again, he could just move in, and he could take down the entire... I mean, what's left of the base? There's not much left. The thing, too, is, like, building fortifications in the trade is even stronger than having the units there, right? Like, Mihai's got to build some bombard towers there, so good luck pushing that down. He's also still got so much military here, preventing running from really doing anything. The Scorpions didn't really get the big shot they wanted there. So most of the Paladins end up dying. If the Scorpions hit, those Elephants maybe go down. But yeah, you just back up, man. You just back up. Wait for some Rams. Wait for some Trebs. Villagers from Mihai will get sniped, but he got 2 bombard towers completed. He's got bigger issues here because there's a big army from Anatov. Tag picked Spanish, I think mainly for the more efficient trade. And they've got it now. And it's working, and they're getting a lot of gold income. And what that translates into is you don't need as many trade carts, which means you can consistently have more army, right? And that's a team bonus, too. Onagers. There will be Desperation Onagers hopping out of this siege workshop, hoping to flatten some Scorpions here. Anatov has quickly switched over to this side, but his units just die so fast. Just waiting to see if these Elephants get hit by the Scorpions. Okay, there's the Onager. He kills 1 Scorpion. He gets another shot. Okay, he kills 2 more. The Elephants are getting hit, though. I think the Rams are going to complicate things, too, because the Rams tank a lot of that damage. Oh, and Satoa's in with Mihai on the left side. Running's regaining the trade corner. Or trying to, but now the Paladins are going to be into the trade. And that's a lot of trade in there as well. The Transis Sipahi isn't in for Running. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Running didn't get Sipahi this game. Obviously, he probably thinks he has it, but he should have 100 HP on these Cav Archers. It's a really good point. Frustrating then, I guess, for Running. You're probably not going to notice now. And they're losing a lot of trade. They never really had that much trade to begin with either. Yep. Down goes the trade. Down goes the gold income they're going to have. MBL is fortified up again with towers. He's got a bunch of Scorpions. I think he can hold this on his own. Yeah, I don't think he needs Sito here. Sito can go over on this side. Work with Mihai. And maybe this is where Tag end up getting the first win. And this would be... This would completely change my prediction, by the way. Like, I said 2-2 today, but that's just on paper. Just with the thinking that Running and team are gonna win on this map because they're so good on this map. What I like about Tag too is like they're very they have amazing fight in them, right? Like, if things go wrong, if things get kind of crazy, they almost get stronger. And some teams are just not like that. They rely on their game plan working all the time. Ooh, lots of Hoofnitsa. There's a random Paladin squeezed in there. Random Hoofnitsa. Oh, man, the Hoofnitsa get trapped. The Bombard Cannons hit them, too. Hoofnitsa gone. That's not good. So maybe I spoke too soon. That is not good. Mihai's going to lose everything. Yikes. That was a lot of Hoofnitsa and a lot of Hussite wagons. Oh, man. What a clear up there from Nocturna. But over here, what a clear up from MBL. Sad elephant noises again. Again, like, Target's eco is back here. Like, he doesn't really have TCs set up to, like, replace villagers easily. And also, hello? MBL is 2 random Trebs here? and Target just sees them? Doesn't matter. I guess they tap out and they call the GG. MBL's weird walls, his weird trebuchets, and his weird push ended up being enough despite almost losing his king. I'm sure his heart jumped out of his chest when he heard his king was out. Well played. And Tag take the first game. Honestly, like, it feels like this game is trending towards being over. Considering they had a big pushback on the left, I'm a little surprised they called it here. But, never again. They don't have their trade. They lost a lot of trade. Target is completely out of the game. He can't reboom. So, yeah. Tag take the first game on Nocturna's home map. Well played. I love the support from Sito this entire game. Sito had a stellar game. Swinging to the left, swinging to the right when he needed. He also had a ridiculous eco. And so this is the gold income here. He had 46k gold brought in. This is the trade profit. So the trade went so hard for him. And honestly, I'm not convinced the Iron Pagodas are better than Paladins now. It felt like the Paladins were at the very least one slight step behind. But the thing about Paladin is it's better against the ranged units than Iron Pagodas, and there's a decent amount of ranged units, so I guess it balances out, even if a Paladin is slightly worse in a 1v1 engagement. Also, easier to spam Paladins, right? You just need stables to spam them, and the Iron Pagoda player needs castles, and you're never going to have as many castles as you will stables. So that's the big thing about playing Paladin there. All right, so we got to focus up here, because we've got a lot of action coming. We have Cape of Storms, and this is a map that I would expect Tag to be a big fan of with the Chaos. Now, we'll say Nocturna did draft pretty high for this. They have Mongols in the mix. There's a lot of Hunt on the map. They have Japanese. They have Georgians. I really do like their civs. Mihai is shifted to the blue because he's going to be the front player here. We've got Sito as the pocket playing as the Huns, and we have MBL in the north, MBL playing as the Vikings. Now, I like this role for MBL. Usually, the northern player kind of gets left on their own, and they play a 1v1 against the other player. MBL, similar to what I said before with Turs, probably pretty happy in a 1v1 against running, will like his chances. I do feel like Mongols is just way better here, though. Like, there's 3 boars per player on this map. There's lots of Hunt. Mongols should have a very fast start. I am curious, will the player in the north go and dock at all? MBL did not the last time he played for his team. And he's dropping a mill now, so I don't think he will. I think running... Yeah, the Ville's already... running down here. I like this decision. I think that having... If you survive the early feudal age attack, having 4 to 6 fishing ships versus 0 is just huge. And usually you're going to be protected. So, running's down there already. Anatov is here as the Georgians. Georgians with a super fast start here, too, because the mule carts... So you could get the villas on wood right away, not invest any wood into it, get the dock up faster, get the fishing ships out. And then for Turs, you've got the Japanese, and I think Japanese are stellar here. You want to play water? Japanese are great. They have water and fishing ship bonuses. You want to play land? Play man-at-arms? Also very good. The gold position sucks. That gold position is actually horrible, so bad that Turs might want to move back here and take this gold. But... his dock is up already, and I'm guessing he's just going to play water, but... I'd like for someone to explain to me the reasoning behind some teams walking super far to place this dock. I'm still trying to come to grips with this myself. I think, like... on one hand, you're closer to the enemy, so that could be good, right? But, like, on the other hand, you're further from your allies. So if units get around you, which can happen, you then have to chase back more. It also then does delay building the dock because you have to walk so far. I don't know, but it feels like there's got to be some logic here. And, like, I would just probably never do this. I would just build my dock down here. It's probably so you don't have as big a distance between the docks. Fish is better there? I don't think fish is really better there. The fish is pretty plentiful everywhere. It's got to be a distance thing. Like, if he went forward dock like that and then didn't play water, that would be the weird thing. I probably just really like the idea of being super close to pressuring the docks. And yeah, good point. I mean, later on, if they trade on water, which some teams are doing, this is a better starting dock, so that could be part of it. Walls from Mihai. I want to see if Turs scouted the situation, and Turs sees the barracks and knows he's going to be up against Man-at-Arms. MBL trying to go for some big walls. Sato probably going to be going for scouts. Keep in mind, no dock for MBL. He's going militia, and he's coming forward. This is what MBL did against Hart when they played up against Vitality. Is he just went full send, and he tried to get damage into other players. So he obviously knows he's going to be up against running, but he wants to then get down here and hit Anatov. I think it's very unlikely, though, because Anatov's going to have scouts. He's going to be waiting for this. MBL, he didn't scout the stable initially. He actually turns around, and he's going to drop a tower here. That's a really good tower, to be honest. And if he's able to take the stable down from running, running could have issues. And also, running not being able to get this boar means he won't have that additional food. He does have a couple fishing ships, though. I think running needs a counter tower here, but maybe it's too late. I think you needed to react immediately if you're going to counter tower. Instead, the scouts from running are coming this way. The men-at-arms from Mihai are going towards the pocket. So Anatov under pressure and running under a lot of pressure. Turs is just going to aim to win water for his team. That's the idea. Kill the fish. But bye-bye stable running. Good luck with that. Look, Anatov knew exactly what was happening. He's already even gone for a stone gate here. I like that, though. That's smart. Because if things trend the way I think they will, your team is going to end up having more economy because you have the fish. So just don't lose your vills. I like the teamwork here from running. I don't like the fact he's lost the stable. But they try to work together here against the man-at-arms. And Mihai finds an annoying gap to stand with his man-at-arms, which do regenerate with his civ. Fire ships are out, though. And so the fishing ship has to garrison. Meanwhile, stable for running is going to go down. And MBL's just taking his boar, because why not, I guess? And MBL's man-at-arms are looping around, which running has to track. He doesn't want that to hit Anatov unnoticed. Yeah, they got... MBL got into Hera's woodline against Vitality. He's probably trying to get into Anatov's woodline. We'll say the man-at-arms are taking some really good engagements here. The extra HP from the Vikings really helped out. And man-at-arms still alive from Mihai. I think they did a really good job not getting immediately cleared. And now that there's no archer players for the other team, they're mixing in spearmen too, which gets really annoying. Like, MBL's got 5 spears already. Look at all these spears running forward. And there's spearmen in there for Mihai as well. So the double scout approach is not going to work well. And they haven't won on water because Sato is helping Mihai on water as well. Really good start from Tag. But, like, I think the way it should work is I think Turs, because he's been untouched, he's got 3 docks with Japanese. I think he should be winning water. Like, he should beat... He should be able to go 1v2. But what you can't have is you can't let someone sneak around. This would be so good if Mihai does. Will Turs sense that Mihai doesn't have a navy here and then get some navy down here? Yeah. Look, he's looking for it. He's looking for it. That's actually great play from both players. I don't know if Turs has noticed that yet. Scouts from running made it over to MBL's base. Ran into a spearman. They still have units around here. Panic tower from Anatov, because there's just infantry everywhere. The dock for Mihai is going to go down, so there will have to be more water control, more water pressure from Sato, which takes away from him going scouts. Sato will have enough navy to probably hold in a second. He's producing out of 2 docks. But a really good work from Turs. I think he's gotten a little confused, but like he did a good job to stop those units from getting through. Scouts from Sato now getting into Running's woodline. Running is now in Sato's woodline at the same time. They both think the other player's AFK. They both realize why the other person was AFK as the scouts kill villagers in both areas. Very close game, but Nock have the fish lead. And that should continue to be the case. But all can change if Turs doesn't continue to do his job. I still think that Turs should be an easier game. Until now, though, like the fact that he's going to get attacked on lands now makes this more complicated. Like, this is where he could make some big mistakes on water. Sato's still chasing things down. It's a lot of hawks and fires. You do get the hill damage on the water here. It's a weird map, I know. Okay, Turs is getting hit on land right now. He's dropping a tower. Is he winning on the water for the team? I think he is. Yeah, he's winning this fight. Big time. And he's still on his gold. The army's going to run through, though. Ooh, the army. And there's going to be more value to be had back here. A can tag win without fish. In the north, MBL's built some outposts. I think he's wondering where is Running taking golds. And he'll actually be able to find that Running is on that gold and send an army over there. Wow, what great game sense from MBL to realize that the tower denies the golds and that Running is going to have to sneak for golds. Maybe Running shouldn't have gone there, though. Maybe Running should have gone here, but he didn't see it. He never saw the gold back there. That's crazy. Mihai's trying to redock and keep his fish active, and that even gets found by Turs. I think Turs has had a great game, but he needs support from his allies. His allies have the fishing ships. Do they have the army to clear this? Anatov's going to try and clear this. He gets a lot of scouts. They have full upgrades. They should be able to clear this up. That's a nice clear. It allows Turs to breathe a little bit more. Villagers in the north, though, for Running. Running's in a really rough spot. Running has been behind MBL despite having the fish. This was full cleared. This is a game where Anatov should be able to carry now. 20 fishing ships against Sato's 5, and Sato's 5 are not working. Random fish trap from Turs. I don't know what that's about. Probably just a misclick. And Running is going to need Anatov to step it up because he's having an awful time. I mean, if MBL makes it to Castle Age with big crossbow armies, scouts can't necessarily kill that. Mihai as well. Like, Mihai has to be careful because he's not completely walled in the front of his base, but he does have some military. Sato's going to have some scouts at the support. You got a full wall, guys. I don't know why people aren't full walling. It's so frustrating to see people not full wall. You do the rest of the work to wall elsewhere, and the opponent's going full scouts, so there's just a wide open gap at the front of your base. Inexcusable at this level, in my opinion. And he pays the price. Anatov crushing. Because of course he's crushing. He's got like 3 times the food eco of Sato. Sato can never compete with production. The strategy's worked for Nock, despite it being awkward to get here, and despite the fact that Running could still have issues. They've completely won the water. Not even any chance of recovery there. And Mihai loses another villager. Turs is on the way to Castle Age. Anatov is on the way to Castle Age. Only MBL on the way to Castle Age for his team. But MBL's crushing Running. Just crushing Running. And Running doesn't have this like ridiculous fish boom. He's just got 10 fishing ships. And he's lost a lot of vills this game. And there's another tower from MBL. There's a bunch of spearmen here with the archers. And Running has to leave because, you know, they found this gold. And now the army ends up being here. And, oh, man. Yeah, I think Tad can still win this. Because Running being a complete non-factor is going to be a lot of stress for Anatov. Anatov's going to have to come this way. Which means Anatov can't pressure everywhere else. I think Anatov can do that. But if MBL plays... Like, MBL's a player who loves to play lots of excess spearmen. If MBL actually plays pikemen, that could be the play here. Not even archers. Pikemen. I see the infantry armor now. You're only up against knights, right? He is still 3 ranges, but I really like pikemen as an option. I mean, Running is just in a bad spot. His economy, he can't take golds. His army can't do too much if MBL gets upgrades, and MBL's about to get upgrades. And Anatov, they have to deal with this army because his base will be exposed. The Turs, good resources. Very good resources because he's got the fish boom. He's going to play crossbowman. Not the timing on the fight you want there if you're Anatov. Anatov's army will run through the middle where MBL's got some crossbowmen coming down this way to pressure Turs. Sato still in feudal, so Good luck. I mean, he's adding spearmen in his base because he's expecting the pressure from the knights. And running still needs the help. And running... Oh, God. Oh, God, dude. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Oh, what a disaster. I think they'll clear this, though. There's a lot of knights. That's not too many crossbowmen from MBL. But now the scouts from Sito are here, and the crossbows from MBL are here. Man, like, TAG just keep pressuring. They just keep pressuring. They always have another army. They always have another punch loaded up, ready to go. Like, Turs is trying to switch on the land, but because he was on water for so long, it took a very long time to get here. Population is all just water right now, right? Still think the army count's not very good for Mihai and MBL. Like, MBL's got 14 crossbows. It's only 18 crossbows for Mihai and 12 of them here. So, if Anatov has the eco, which he does, the Turs is losing more vills in the back. But if he's got the eco to just spam knights, he could probably clear both of them. And Sato's still not in Castle Age. So, very big economies here for Nocturna. They just have no momentum right now. They got to clear an army, and then they got momentum, and then they're fine. Really like the strat. I think the execution has been difficult because TAG has put so much land pressure. But my feeling on this map is that water is king. And I think that that's kind of what we've seen here. The difference between Anatov's position and Sito's position is just insane. Nice job from Mihai. You're going to lose your army, but at least you killed some army. But now we got Imp on the way for Turs. If Turs makes it to Imp with archers, I mean, he only has 2 crossbows now. But if he makes it to Imp with a solid mass, that might be the game-ending move. Meanwhile, MBL, 3 TCs. So, I mean, he's got a very good standard eco now. Sito also has a really good standard eco. It's very exposed for raids. So that needs to be protected. And the units are going to run through the middle. MBL's waiting in that choke. Built a TC there. And choke points are pretty good for the crossbows, actually. So Anatov might see that, and he might not want to stick around. Crazy to me that MBL doesn't have ballistics. He missed every single shot there. He didn't hit a single knight. And now the knights could just run through. I like the energy from Anatov. You know that you have the army lead, and you need to force it. And you need to get some pressure in on Sito. Having Huns is painful here. Because you can't quickly house wall to protect yourself. MBL needs to come save Sito, or Sito is dead. Sito is, like, dead if he doesn't get some help here. Mihai's back to support. MBL is going to be here to support. Ballistics will be in 30 seconds. But the crossbows are here. And the crossbows might actually just die as well. Just like the villagers underneath the TC. This is the entire army for Anatov. So you probably don't want to lose everything. But he just runs right over here to Mihai. Running, letting him know with the scouting there. Like, hey, he's got army here as well. And just Anatov is running the show right now. Which means that Turs has safely been imping, safely massing army, not been needed at all. And he's going to have Imperial Age upgrades coming in with bracer crossbows all along the front lines of Mihai's base. Anatov is never going to take an easy engagement and just lose his army, so he's just using his mobility. Very well played from Nocturna. I think Turs or Anatov needs to lose a lot of army right now for TAG to have a chance. Like, okay, so here go the knights. Those knights can probably run away from the pikemen, right? What about here? I mean, bracers in, so you have the upgrade advantage. You don't have the numbers advantage. MBL's running at that. Still no imp possible for MBL or Mihai, right? So it's going to be 3 Castle Age players. And I think Turs just needs to get the Arbalest upgrade. After the oh man, Turs is kind of overextending a little bit. And he's got the upgrade advantage, but he's losing some army here. I just kind of feels like, especially with Anatov losing the army in the back. And running is still in an awkward spot. I mean, he doesn't have a good economy. Maybe there's a slight chance here for TAG. Don't think there should be, though. I think Anatov and Turz should run the show. I actually think running might not even be needed for military. I think maybe what running should do is running should just boom. Just, like, drop town centers. He's going to mass cav archers to help the team. I love the micro there from Mihai. He's like, go ahead. You've got an upgrade advantage. I'm the better player. Look at that micro. That's actually so dirty. What? I mean, the confidence there. The micro can change the game, right? Like, I'm never taking that fight if I'm Mihai. I'm backing up, and I back up, and then our team's just dead, so... But, he lost all of his crossbows, guys. He's got 3 crossbows. That was everything Mihai had. And there's still continuous production from Turz, so, yeah. MBL's going to have to save the game now, I guess. He's lost his towers here, so running can come over to the gold. MBL's got 24 crossbows that he really doesn't want to take an engagement with until he's in the Imperial Age. I think Anatov, he's doing a good job at running around with the knights. I think he doesn't really need to make any more knights here, in my opinion. I think Imperial Age would make sense. Like, just get up to Imp so you can get some bigger upgrades, would be my view. He is here to support Turz, so Turz can place an aggressive castle. Again, fishing is just so strong on this map. And now they're going for the trade cogs. So they can get a little bit of gold income from the water. Otherwise, most of the gold spawns in the north, which running has tried to take back here with his cav archers. More vills come forward. Turz is never going to lose this castle because the opponents are all down an age. Now, Arbalest is just super strong, and the knights are going to run in. Mihai could be dead. Sato could be dead. MBL really has to stay here so Sato doesn't lose his base. But, his upgrades are still way too far away. Even 30 seconds from Imp feels like the Arbalest upgrade, the chemistry upgrade, the bracer upgrade. He's not going to have the resources for every single one, and the units are in. I think it's really good sign for the series and for the teams that both teams are going to have gotten wins on their on the other players' home maps. I got to double check this, actually, because maybe this is Nocturna's second home map. I might be misspeaking, but I thought the tag would really like this map. Nocturna's played incredible. I remember Nocturna winning last time they played this map, so... This is Tag's home map? Yeah. Pretty sick then, right? Tag getting the win game 1. And now Nocturna likely to get the win here. Super well-rounded teams. Not a good sign for my salmon, T90. Well, I wasn't thinking about your channel points, in all fairness. I was thinking about the entertainment and the balance of the teams. Anatov, 70 seconds from clicking Cavalier, and probably full upgrades on that. Sato will lose his town centers. Mihai already losing his town centers and running down to the south, which Turz is starting to place outposts for to check. MBL is in Imp now. He has Arbalest. He has Bracer. He has Chemistry. So, the upgrades and the numbers are actually even to what Turz has. But MBL's team has fallen off here. And it's only going to get worse if this gets spotted as well. Mihai can't contribute. He's just hoping to stay alive for later. And there's the Boggs Vigar upgrade for MBL. So, I guess, yeah, Japanese get Thumb Ring. Vikings don't, but they get Boggs Vigar, so we'll get the +1 attack. Not bad. It looks like there was a raid from Sato back here, which will get cleared up now. But I think once it's Cavalier and Arbalest for Nocturna, they can just full send it here. They've just been patient because they don't want Anatov to waste any of his army. Southern Islands. Yeah, there's a dock there, so they can trade to that. Which, bringing us back to our Dark Age discussion, I don't think the forward dock is for anything but just a greater position for the attack. Great game from Turz, though. There was a lot of chaos. Running took a lot of losses. But Turz just won the water for his team, and that benefits everybody, right? Everybody had the fish. So despite how many vills running lost, Despite running having no gold, they were able to sort it out. That Cavalier upgrades in. And still some patience from Anatov here. I would like to see him send some Cav into the back to try and prevent a reboom situation. Ooh, big Night Raid here from Sato. But I feel like Running's just playing cleanup crew right now. If there's a raid from Sato, Anatov doesn't deal with it himself. We just have the Cav Archers chase it down. Anatov will send some units back. It's a good raid from Sato. He's in a bunch of different positions now. But yeah. Yeah, dude. But this was found. Mihai was about to lose all of his vills and get defeated. And of course, Sato lost his majority of his base and can't make more army. MBL will lose his castles. And Nocturna respond, get the second win. Amazing game from them. I think it was just the approach. So essentially what Tag tried to do is they tried to combine roles. You have Mihai go land and water, and then you have Sato go land and water. Whereas Nocturna, they went for the riskier approach, but the more simplistic approach in terms of approach. All Turs does is water, and all Anatov does is spam fish and add land army. And once they were able to clear one army, like on water or on land, things swung their direction pretty heavily here. There's just such big potential on this map for the fish. And even for the trade at this stage, Anatov ends the game on 200 population, reminding everyone what he's capable of. So, 1-1. Good stuff. Let me just confirm that Twitch chat wasn't lying to me. And yeah, that was one of the home maps from Tag. All right, so Turs is going to play flank here. We got good old-fashioned Arabia. A very hilly generation of Arabia, I'll point out. So this could snowball the fights a whole lot faster. A much more punishing version. Shu for Turs on the flank. Pocket then is Magyars for Anatov. And the north, we've got the Malians for Running. Up against Running will be MBL. MBL's playing as the Mayans. In the green, then, we have Sato playing as the Franks. And then in the blue, we've got the Ethiopians for Mihai. So overall, most of these civs, really top-tier Arabia civs. I think the one outlier would be the Malians. Malians, while they do have good bonuses for the early game, MBL's coming forward with the Eagle to be a pest right now. Malians do not get Bracer. So if this goes to the Imperial Age, I think their team is worse. That's also part of the reason, though, that you end up picking, as we actually have a mill from Running, which is interesting. You don't normally see that from Archer players. I think they picked Shu and they picked Magyars because they're just really good at what they do, and they're hoping to end this game fast. I think the big thing here will be how quickly they go for a bit of a double. We can even pay attention to the starting scouts for that. So, Mihai might combine with Sato, or maybe we see Sato combine with MBL. So far, MBL is being super annoying to Running and disrupting his Dark Age. But yeah, Running's start, we'll see what his uptime looks like. Malians do have the cheaper buildings, but he pulled away from the wood line because of MBL's Eagle. He now is pulled away from the berries because of MBL's Eagle. He's getting loom a little bit earlier than he would typically. And again, building the mill in the first place when you're playing archers is not really a common thing to do. MBL's gold is awful, though. This gold is incredibly painful. And he'll need to probably tower. MBL's just going to play chaos mode. And I think that Sato, once he pushes in his final deer, that scout's going to go over here with Mihai, and they're going to work together against Turs. What is nice is when you're playing archers and your wood and gold is next to each other. So MBL doesn't have that option, right? But for Running, you can just drop a tower here and it protects both resources. The Running's going to wall up a little bit, maybe expecting MBL to come in here quickly. But MBL still hasn't clicked up to Feudal Age. A bit later than he might have wanted. But that's because he didn't push his deer, because he was harassing with the Eagle. So all things balance out in the end. MBL will click up, but it'll be more of a slow burn for him with the archers, because he won't have the ranges in time. The wall's coming this way from Mihai. interesting to take this gold. I kind of like it because the main gold is just... blech. Some of these gold positions are horrible. Like, clearly NOC have paid off the refs. Or, I guess the scripters here for their gold positions. Because MBL's gold. And also Mihai's golds. Especially Mihai's golds. Are going to be problematic. But, again, you can end the game so quickly without needing that much gold. So, taking this gold on the side is very creative. Double archer range on the front from Mihai. Scouts are here from Turs and Anatov. And you just have to wonder, like, why is Mihai still pushing in a deer? Why are they not focusing on pushing forward, moving forward right now? They kill the Vil, but more importantly, they delay the ranges. Ranges are already going up there from Turs. Nothing frustrates me more than seeing this in high-level Age of Empires. I'm sorry, that deer's not worth it. You're Ethiopians, you get plus 100 food and plus 100 gold. That's just, it's not even needed. Like, you don't even want that many Vils on food. You want wood and gold. Actually really tilts me. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. This could be tilting for Running. Running's getting the Palisade down as quickly as possible because MBL's got 4 man-at-arms. I mean, MBL's just had kind of a wild card performance here because you just don't see man-at-arms on Arabia flank that frequently. But he's just going to do it anyways. What could be really good, actually, is if you run in towards Anatov. That way Anatov gets disrupted. The scouts from Sito and Anatov have met in the middle, and it does look like MBL is going to run that way. Running's going scouts? What? Running's going scouts with Malians, not archers? A lot has happened in the north that's been unexpected. Mihai's ranges were simply delayed, but nothing too major. And he's still got... I think he's one of the best archer players in the game right now, so... That with the Ethiopians, he'll like his chances. Turs is just trying to wall before he does anything, so he's not being aggressive. And the man-at-arms are moving this way. And this is being communicated. Running is telling him the army's going to be over here. Look, they're waiting for it, but where's MBL? Right here. So annoying, this guy. I don't know how he does it. You have to assume it's intentional, but like MBL's always at the right place at the right time with the sneaky, annoying armies. They do respond to it right away. They don't lose any Vils, and they will probably clear this, though. So, well played. And MBL forced a lot of idle time. And Sito doesn't have that idle time right now. And the man-at-arms get some good value as well. A lot of the scouts are just standing there. Oh, God. Only 3 scouts engaging. Oh, my goodness. That engagement was amazing for those man-at-arms. Holy! Dude. You don't get that typically. Meanwhile, scouts from Sito will run in towards Running's base. Running's already got the tower there. Yeah, the archer players in the south are just kind of hanging out, walling up, and playing the macro game. So maybe thinking more about Castle Age. Turs trying to track that army will lose it, which is now Mihai's opportunity to run through the middle of the map, maybe. Running loses 1 Vil, Running loses 2 villagers, and Sito hasn't even lost a scout. It's been a rough game for Running. Just even since the Dark Age. Idle time here. Idle time here. Oh, he misclicked all his eco, too. He just misclicked all those Vils. Oh, man. I think Running's under a lot of stress right now. Now, Mihai just needs to conserve his army. I think if he conserves his army, could be in a good position here. Turs could actually have found him there if he continued up the hill. MBL bringing 2 spearmen, so I think he's always going this way. And I think he signaled? I think he accidentally signaled somewhere, and he just is sorry now? For anyone who's new, that he's not apologizing for how good he's played against them. You know, he's not like, sorry, bro. Sorry, you suck. No, that's not what that is. I assume there was a signal. Capture Age is a little bugged right now. It's showing double chat sometimes, and it won't show signals sometimes. So I can only speculate, but there's a signal from Anatov, and he's telling his teammates, like, yo, we got pressure on my base, and that's his gold. So that'll affect his ability to go to Castle Age. And Mihai, oh my god, what? Was there a hole? Was there a hole between these houses? Did he get bamboozled? He might have assumed the bamboo was part of a wall there. I think they got bamboozled. Bamboozled? Oh my god, I hate getting bamboozled. I will not play certain civs due to their architecture because the little bamboo on the houses get me so many times, dude. I'm kidding. I'll still play the civs. But damn, that's so frustrating for Turs because he's got to come all the way home now. He lost villagers. Anatov's having a tough time. He's got to stay full feudal now. And then Sato, I mean, he's made a lot of army here, but Sato can take his gold. Sato is walling up. Sato's feeling great. The key for Mihai is that you always need to be able to leave, right? If you're in here, you don't want to get fully trapped if the opponent has more numbers, but that's nice because you now can tell Sato that the army is not running towards his base. And good micro from Mihai overall. As I say that, he misfires. And trying to get back home. He doesn't want to get fully cleared. If he gets fully cleared, it could be bad. He'll get trapped, though. So he just has to take a good trade. Honestly, could end up being good for Turs. It's a lot of army killed. Still a good position. I just love what MBL's been able to do. And MBL will have a lot of army, right? Like, MBL back at home, despite his gold position, he's going to have quite a few crossbowmen here. That's why Tag have more military. But I think Turs can carry. Like, my opinion on Arabia is if you have a really good crossbow player, that crossbow player could kill 2 people pretty quickly. You snowball against the other archer player, and then the second you're ahead there, you just shift to the pocket, and then, like, good luck, Sato. Especially with Mihai's golds, I think this whole front area could be a real problem. And Mihai is on the way to Castle Age. Does he know that the army is there from Anatov and Turs? He's going to see it. We have a drop, I assume, because it says game over for me. Welcome in. We're back. There was a restore. We told a bunch of cat stories. YouTube's going to miss out on that in the video. Big pressure here as we're back into it here. And just to recap, right? Like, Anatov and Turs need to find some damage right now because the Castle Age is significantly delayed after the damage that they took here. Anatov is on the way to Castle Age now, but Sato is already in the Castle Age, and Mihai is just created this little bubble wall in the back, and he just has to survive. MBL's got a massive lead over Running. Running's trying to go Knights, but he doesn't really have the economy to go for many Knights. And MBL will have quite a few crossbowmen, and Mihai's doing the job. Even if he loses a couple villagers here, that's acceptable. He just can't lose his army. And speaking of losing army, Turs can't lose his army, and Anatov can't lose his army, and Sato is here waiting with the light cav upgrade. Oh, man, and they can't run this way either because there's a wall. Oh, it's a trap. Bro, it's a trap. I don't see how you escape this. Turs is so late with his upgrades. This is actually the right call, probably. Since the archers can't run away, you just have to let them fend for themselves. The scouts ran off. This will be tracked by Sato now. But great job here from Tag. And MBL's over here. And look how many working farmers Running actually has. Like, he has 5 farms. It's a weird situation here. I just don't really like Knights from the flank. I think there's a reason it's not seen that frequently. Nice job from Sato to track. Mihai's going to have a massive archer army now compared to Turs. And he'll be pushing forward. I think Tag's chilling. MBL will drop a town center. This gold on the front has never been a concern for him at all. Crazy walls here from Mihai as well. Look at the team walling he's gone for. So even team walling and team gating across the middle of the map, which makes it complicated for Anatov to get away. Anatov is probably their only hope now, to be honest. I mean, you get the extra attack with Magyars. So you hope that that's going to be the difference here. But Turs and Running just have struggled a little bit. I think there were opportunities for Turs, but then he had the hole in his wall. His army never continued to move forward after that. It just turned around, and I really do think that Arabia is just a better map for the Tag players. So there's a lot more aggression. There's a lot more that can go wrong, and essentially for them, a lot more that can go right. Look at Sato. He's even dodging the shots here, bro. Crazy. Here comes the army from MBL, just tracking Running now. MBL tends to be a little late for ballistics, on ballistics compared to most team game players. I noticed that in the previous game as well. Here it's fine, though. Because your team has such a big army lead. And Knights from running just do not have the numbers to really contribute much. Knight actually got stuck there, too, which doesn't help. And then we got Mihai over here. Turs is on 3 ranges, as he should be. Big army numbers. 3 stables as well for Manitoff, which is, again, the correct play. But with the amount of, like, walls and military that we're seeing from Tag, Tag is tracking all of this. Like, there's no surprises. Sato knows he needs to deal with this army. Mihai's communicating that the crossbows from Turs are over here, so that doesn't need to be worried about. So MBL can just partner with Sato through the middle. Or he can come all the way over here and try and help out Mihai. Anatoff's Lycav have actually done a really nice job. Like, somehow staying alive, getting through here. Sato has running to track, and he has Mihai to track because of that. But I think Sato will clear this in a second. And Mihai backing away to his hill because he sees the Knights here, and he doesn't have any Knight support yet from Sato. Do Magars get extra attack or just the instant upgrade? No, they just get the upgrades for free. It's not additional. I said extra because they have, like, more than the Franks do right now. But maybe I should have worded that differently. I think it's the correct play to play patient from Mihai. Because you know your team has a big eco lead. And you just don't want to be caught on open field by the Knights. And if you know the Knights are here, you either ask Sato for support or Sato goes with MBL. And it looks like Sato has kind of been on his own this game. He's going forward, and MBL's just going to arrive this way. There's such a big crossbowman lead. I actually don't have that big of an eco lead, so credit to Nock for that at least. But yeah, now double crossbowman army. Just waiting for those Knights from Sato. Sato has Knights still chasing these Lycav. Again, that's just really impressive that these Lycav distracted army for that long, but it goes down. Now they've got to face the military numbers here. Knights running through from Sato underneath the TC into the wood line. Super annoying for Anatoff. Takes away from his focus and his micro here, and now Turs has backed off, and now Turs doesn't have the hill. Definitely feels like Turs wants Imp here. I think that's why Shu is so strong. Like, their Imp time ends up being really solid in these Archer scenarios. Yeah, he's definitely going for the fast Imp, but, like, is he going to have a teammate alive when he makes it to Imp? They need to be fighting now. MBL's resources are looking pretty nice for the Imperial Age as well. Also, outposts all through the middle from MBL. Just like this line of outposts. This is kind of nuts. So they'll always know where the opponent's army is, and they find the Knights here, and Anatoff can't fight because they need Turs. But, like, Turs doesn't want to fight because Turs is waiting for Imperial Age. He has the resources for Imp. Big army. They might engage here. There's not that many Knights from Sato. Look at the micro from Sato, though. Dodging some of the shots here. MBO just sits there with his crossbows. Mihai backs away to the hill. The micro from Sato is insane. Like, all the crossbows for Turs are not hitting targets because they're trying to hit that Knight. That changes the fight massively. That's a really good play. In the end, I think it's acceptable if MBL loses that army because he's going to have more army coming forward. Does give Nock a chance, though, because Turs is on the way to Imp. So, you clear Mihai. Still waiting to see, like, MBL going for massive stone walls. Crazy. I'd like to see him click up to the Imperial Age first. Like, fast Imp Arbalest can end games so quickly. Especially when Mihai's gold is here. Mihai will be a complete non-factor if they don't deal with this crossbow army. I'm really impressed with Anatoff. Anatoff has a lot of Knight production. Remember, he was delayed to Castle Age, so he should have been behind there. Running as well has really stepped it up. Like, I thought running was completely cooked this game. But the double Knights seem to be working. Like, they're neutralizing MBL now. And this game has swung, and Nocturna can definitely win this game now. Knights and crossbows are just not going to be enough against Arbalest. Turs is moving forward. He does have to decide on who he attacks. I would not mind trying to get in towards the pocket player, Sato, because then it gives Anatoff a free game. And again, Sato's not going to be an imp. The player who's spamming knights never is. So you probably want to hit a crossbow player. Tur's just being patient, waiting, I think. He doesn't want to overextend. I still, when I see an army of crossbows advancing out across the map on the way to imp, I still get flashbacks to when I was in the 2v2 final with Dark. And Dark had 80 crossbows with Britons. And he moved out, and he lost all those crossbows right before his upgrades. Like, we probably lost the final because of that. And so I looked at Turs hesitating there, and it just took me back. Took me back to a very sad day. We ended up losing that final 3-2. Don't even get me started about playing Vietnamese on Nomad. That takes me back to then as well. All these specific memories, you guys probably have no clue what I'm referencing, but if you watch the videos, you know. I mean, I love the army approach now from Nocturna. They're just going full send, but we have Mihai imping and we have MBL imping. They need to keep their army alive. Sato might be eliminated from this game here. I think he realizes it as well. He's abandoning all the villas on the left side. The knights are just going to run right through. Mihai waiting for his upgrades. He's got a better economy than Turs. Should be able to make more military, but Turs has more military. And Camel's there from running, too. Like, Sato's military is also just not enough. Sato's in trouble. But there will be 2 players in Imp for tag. And MBL's crossbows are much cheaper with the Mayans. So as long as he keeps his position, he also has built a nice castle here. As long as he doesn't lose his army right now, as long as Mihai doesn't lose his army, they can be in a good spot. Sato just contributing to body block for the team there. Now Mihai getting his upgrades. Is he turning around? Looks like he's turning around to stabilize Sato. Sato's got completely wrecked. I don't know, like, I almost feel like you don't want to stabilize Sato, but maybe that's just not the team player thing to do. I guess you clear this army once, and you're feeling comfortable, but there's always going to be another army, as is, right? I'd like to see him try and push. There will be traction trebs coming from Turs on the front. And MBL's Stonewall, I don't know if this has been spotted. It has somewhat been spotted, but it's not being denied. So MBL's got that whole area walled up. And here's Mihai in support. Nocturna are going to just hope to... They know they might lose their army, but they're going to want to lose it in the best place possible, which is the back of the opponent's base. It wastes a lot of time for the opposition getting forward then afterwards. But MBL's not here. MBL's going to be in the middle. MBL's advancing forward, and that's a player they're not ready to deal with yet, maybe. The banking coming in from MBL. I think MBL's just going to send all his excess food to Sato. Guys, this is what we said, though. Like, the second someone needs res on these teams, the best teams are communicating it, which we didn't see from some of the others. Like, that's such a good decision. And Sato's just dropping TCs. They don't look pretty, but they're just to get more vills again, because he needs to be able to come back into this game eventually. I'm wondering how Running's going to perform against Arbalest now. See how fast those knights are going down. There's also the Arbalest here from MBL moving forward. This is going to go directly towards Anatov. He's also stuck on knights. Also still in Castle Age. And Sato dodging here. Doing what he can on the front lines. Still Mihai needing to hold against the traction traps, but he's just repairing. He's waiting. He's being patient. If they can clear this up. Crazy the amount of micro here. They clear this up, then Sato can be back in the game eventually. But Anatov now gets some knights in. He gets it into Mihai's eco. It's a big raid. Mihai is microing here, and Mihai is microing on the front. Mihai did not see that. But will Anatov see this? Will he have an answer to this? The Arbalest from MBL. And will Running have an answer to MBL? Like, MBL's just all over them with Arbs. Mihai's pop is struggling, but at least he still has good military. His eco count is even with Turs, so he was ahead. Yeah, Anatov can't easily stop the Arbalest now. Running can't stop the Arbalest either. This is MBL's game to win for the team now. And Sato's on the way to Imperial Age after receiving the resources from MBL, so he can actually contribute maybe with Cavalier. Really good play from Tag. This army's still here from Turs, but I think that'll be dealt with. What I'm not sure about is if the traction trebs can be dealt with. But I know with certainty that Knights can't stop MBL right now, unless MBL has too many different groups. Like, splitting up like this is good for ranging eco, but you do need that one big mass. Here he's killing Turs' Vils. Turs is still busy on the front. Turs is maybe looking here as well. And they're running. Okay, so he finds a group. That's the right idea. But I think it's just too easy for MBL to spam arbs right now. This is not a group that you can kill with Knights. Like, Knights just die way too fast. Castle from Sito. Castle from Sito. Push back from Mihai as he snipes the traction trap. He just needs to wait for his team. And the GG is called because I think they realize they just can't hold MBL already, right? It doesn't even really matter that Sito's going to be back in the game. But Tag, hold on. I think Feudal Age and early Castle Age, it was all Tag. Mid Castle Age, though, I think NOC did a really nice job. Big army pressure from Anatov and running, and Turs with the fast imp. In the end, when you go all in, you need to kill fast, and you need to kill, like, you know, multiple players, I think, and they weren't able to do that. They were only able to take Sito out of the game, and the flanks were in a really good position for Tag the entire time. Nocturna will maybe be frustrated with how Feudal Age went, to be honest. Like, you feel like some of those things were within your control. MBL seemed to have such a big lead over running the entire game. He just completely outplayed him. And MBL also was able to get pressure onto Anatov, which just made life easier for Sito. Combine that with the fact that Mihai had the hole in Turs' wall, which he got in and did damage, despite Turs having more army at that time. It's just like all three players took damage from Tag and Feudal. And they'll want some of those moments back. Anyways, we're in game number 4 now. And I'm really interested to see this dynamic. Because we've got the poles against the Khmer when we're talking the pocket position. Yesterday we had the fast castle into the boom, into the castle, the slack to privilege upgrade, super cheap knight spam from the poles, and the poles just dominated there. But it wasn't poles against Khmer. The Khmer, they're able to go faster Castle Age because they can skip the buildings, drop the TCs down very quickly. They also have access to elephants. So maybe it's pretty even there. I don't think Khmer is necessarily, like, better, because the poled knights are still way, like, cheaper than anything the Khmer can do. But elephants are stronger, or even if you just want to play knights long-term, your knights are stronger with the Khmer. What we should really talk about is the flanks. Down here, we've got Turs playing as the Malay. We've got Turs against MBL, and MBL's playing as the Portuguese. In the north, Scout moved forward really quickly from Mihai. It looked like he might have tried to lame. I'm not sure, but that Scout's super weak. Almost lost his Scout there as the Britons. And this is against the Armenians, and I actually think he was very curious. Like, why pick Armenians? No, it wasn't just being curious. He's trying to attack early with a Drush. And he wanted to know where he could target, and he ran directly into the TC. It's kind of funny. Running is going to do the same thing. I think a lot of teams are going to do this, where you just Drush for map control, and then you just full wall, and then you adapt from there. Like, look, barracks from Turs, barracks from MBL. This might be the meta. The only difference is that Mihai has built the barracks before a lumber camp, so he gets the militia out a little bit faster here. I think running will see this. T90, is T90 bro official your real brother? No, that's not my real brother. And he claims he's my real brother, and he's here all the time, which is probably really confusing. That's just a random viewer. Sorry to disrespect calling him a random viewer. He's been subbed for multiple years, but that's not my actual bro. My actual bro does have a Twitch account. It's T90 Bro. And it's VIP on the channel, so you might see him pop up every now and then, but why would you deny your brother like this? Listen, I asked my mom and dad, and they swear. Even though he looks like me and he sounds like me, it's not my brother. I don't know what's going on. But no, that's not my bro. 3 militia coming forward from MBL. Turs just has 2. Now he's gone for his 3rd. And he's even adding a 4th here. Yeah, they're just kind of going for walls. We do have Sato going Feudal Age, and we've got no Feudal Age from Anatov. So Sato probably wants to go for scouts. So his team's job is to keep this open so he's able to pressure. If the walls end up going down, then the scout play might not look too good. Goats being stolen over here. Walls going up from Mihai. Militia are going to go in towards Anatov. That has been communicated because Anatov is getting Loom. And Loom is not in for Turs yet. Like, you add this many militia, you're delaying Loom. And the scout will be here from Sato. This could actually be really bad for Turs. Oh, man. I don't know if Turs can do everything he needs to here. Oh, shoot. Oh, no. What do you say? It's Tursable? It's terrible for Turs? It's not the terrible twos. It's the terrible Turs. Oh, that's so good for tag. Because now, like every other time I've seen this, going scouts made 0 sense because you couldn't get the army through. But now the scouts make sense because this is open and the army can get through, right? So this is very different from what we saw in the games yesterday. And also, to make it even worse, for Turs, he doesn't have Loom right now. And he lost his scout, he didn't push his deer, he didn't get his goat! Oh my god, it's terrible. Like, he's forever Dark Age, it feels like. And the scouts could come through, and now Anatov might need to adapt to this. Anatov might need to add some military and defense. If this pressure gets through to Anatov, it's horrible. And yeah, Turs is like, all right, I got Loom, I gotta get this wall down. I gotta try. But, oh man, I mean, the scouts are on the way. It does still take a super long time. He could max commit to this and maybe get the walls down. It's actually the right play because you need Anatov with a free boom. It's actually a really good call. And MBL backed up because, like, he can't... His militia are weak. Lion's gonna go after Turs. No! Rough game. But, honestly, I think that was a really good call. And he's even lumber camping here. So he always has Vils here. So he can always rewall behind to keep the scouts out. Running cleared up the drush from Mihai. Running is stonewalled on this side. And game will stabilize. And I don't think the scouts from Sato have done anything. And Anatov is going to be in Castle Age, dropping town centers very soon. Scout from Sato goes down there. MBL is going to come forward and try and break through here for the team. I guess MBL is just going to open it up, right? Like, he wants to go man-at-arms, and he wants to go for a tower. Yeah, it's smart. So I think it's the right play from Turs to come out here, wall this up. Still, the result of the situation is he's in a very awkward position, and this army could still end up getting through. MBL drops a tower, and Turs just has to drop houses everywhere. And if MBL is man-at-arms, like... Man-at-arms and Arson, the barracks goes down very quickly. Houses go down much faster, so MBL should really retarget. Sato going for this house. They're just going to pressure in a bunch of different areas, and Turs has to wall it up. Turs needs to get Feudal Age now. Luckily, he's melee, he's fast. I think you even need to extend the walls further. You can't let any of this damage get through to your ally. Even if you bring more Vils, I think it's worth it. You just got to keep this army out for as long as possible. He quick walled here. He has to get the walls down here. He needs a couple more clicks. Okay, he's got that. Oh no, the tower hits those Vils. The tower actually hit those Vils. MBL will build another tower. As long as you get the walls, you're fine. And no! The walls! No! Terrible Turs. Oh, terrible for Turs. So unfortunate. He was so close. They're through. The scouts are through. The Vils are dying. The tower's going up. And so this hope that the Poles just have a free boom. It's very different now, right? This pressure's going to get over there. But there's also so much more of a comeback you need to perform now with the Poles because Turs is... Well, he might die here. Like, you might need to make armies so much earlier than you'd like. Just the MBL factor, guys. Like, MBL's just so good at putting pressure. And I really like the chaos factor from him. Look at him. Where are you going, bro? He's a maniac. He's an absolute maniac. Like, you can so easily get trapped here. No one goes in here. Except for MBL. And this might be a mistake. Because now he can't leave. Now he's quick-walled in. Yeah, I mean, he went a little too crazy. I think you want to stay out here. Scouts have gone this way. Anatov did wall it up, so he hasn't taken any damage. And, all right, we'll see if MBL's Vills survive. I think MBL actually loses 5 Vills here. He should. Now he'll fight back, and he'll attack, and he'll kill a villager or two. I don't see how he ever escapes here, though. Yeah, nice walls for Turs. MBL completely overextended. All that's still somewhat fine for me, as long as he stonewalls here. But, like, he just went too crazy with it. There's nothing you can do now against good play. Your army can't escape. Your Vills can't escape without running into the TC. And now Turs can move out here because there's not going to be military at all. So, MBL maybe overcooked it a little bit. The pressure didn't end up getting in towards Anatov, which was the desired effect. There will be archers from Mihai, so you chop through to the middle. Mihai might be looking here, and there's actually... Oh, no, there's a hole between the houses again for this team. And one villager only goes down, but the archers are going to be here too. And MBL tried to run, and MBL lost everything. Oh, MBL. They're even on Vills now, bro. I mean, the eco for Turs is barely working, but... Oh my... Huh? There was another hole between houses. Oh my god. Okay. Game plan. I'm now Nocturna's coach. Game plan for next week. They need to sit down in a scenario editor. They need to find some maps with hills. And they need to practice placing house walls and double checking to see if there's holes. I can't believe it. There was a hole here. He noticed it. There was another hole here. At a high level Age of Empires, you should... I mean, they do know it, right? But yeah, the boom got disrupted. The army got through. Turs was still having a very tough time. And we were going to get to the fact that, like, Mihai is having an amazing game with Britons and has archers everywhere. They call the GG and tag win 3-1. Damn. You know, when I saw this with Poles last time, this was never even a conversation because the Poles player didn't even chop here. Right? Like, they chopped the trees out here so they wouldn't overchop. So I guess a lot of this stuff is easier said than done. Well played to Tag. Tag get the result. YouTube did just want to let you know that the 3v3 finals are going to be live at a LAN event in Hamburg, Germany in November. This will be combined with a 1v1 event as well called the Garrison, which is the follow-up to the iteration we had a year or two ago. If you want to make it to an amazing show, you can check out the link below the video, buy your tickets, and I might see you there.